Welcome to Roscoe Squeeze Off the podcast. It's your boy Roscoe Squeeze Off, world's foremost authority on all things that matter. Just a dude riding around his vehicle talking about sports and sometimes other things. Well, was watching a clip from Greeny. Not actually not Greeny. It's with his morning show that he does on ESPN, and they got into talking because of Kendrick Perkins about what was the hardest championship to win between NFL and the NBA. So I want to weigh in on that. I guess I'd put all professional sports in there, like all the team professional sports, baseball, football, basketball, hockey, and I kind of think it's not kind of, but I definitely believe the NFL is the toughest championship to win, and especially for career builders. So someone like Tom Brady is probably the greatest winner of all time. Reason being is it's the toughest sport to win year in, year out. Now, that being said, it could also be the easiest sport to win in one particular year, winning the NFL championship. Reason I say that is things could fall your way. If you happen to be on a decent team that gets now it's changed because of last year. It changed because of the 7-game format. Only one team gets to bye now. But throughout, the last 20 years or so, almost 30 years, you had the format where two teams got the bye. And by having two teams get the bye, you could conceivably get a bye. The team that you end up playing could have had a quarterback that got hurt the last game. You win that game. Then another star player gets hurt, you win that game. Then you go to the Super Bowl, and another injury honestly could happen. A key player on a team could get hurt, and you win. So the reason I say this is that not the best team doesn't always have to win in football, because it is all about just 60 minutes and possibly getting 3 wins or 4 if you're a wild card team, and winning the Super Bowl. Where in all the other mid-pro team sports, hockey, basketball, baseball, the best team 9 times out of 10 wins. Because if Michael Jordan has a bad game 3 against the Seattle Supersonics, which he did, according to his standards, Michael Jordan can redeem himself in game 4, 5, 6, 7, what have you. So what happens is the better team normally wins. You don't usually say, the better team didn't win in those sports, because it is a series of 5 games, a series of 3 games, a series of, the reason I say 5 and 3 is the little variations they've done in baseball. In basketball, they're all 7-game series. You have to win 16 games. The best team normally wins that. You can't say, the Clippers should have won last year. No, because they had a 7-game series to win and they lost it. At that point, it's not about the luck of the bounce. The better team, after a 7-game series, is considered the better team. But in football, you could actually be a team that you think, that's not the better team, and you could lose being a better team. Or you could win being the lesser team. And that's kind of what makes football great, because if you can string together multiple seasons of wins under that situation, under that scenario, that makes you the greatest. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First of all, it's free. The creation tool allows you to record and edit a podcast right from your phone, tablet, computer, what have you. Anchor will distribute the podcast for you so you can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. You make money right from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. All you have to do is download the Anchor app. Go to anchor.fm to get started. Once again, that's anchor.fm to get started making your own podcast today. Because you don't necessarily have to have the best talent on your team. You just have to have the best situation to be able to win repeatedly. And that's what Tom Brady has done. He has won even though situations may not be ideal. Players may have been hurt. I think we all think his best team he didn't win with. The team with Randy Moss, where they set all those single season statistical records, they didn't win the championship. And then you had teams where he should not have won in some people's eyes. I mean, just last year, you would have thought Kansas City was the better team. But they found a way to win. I mean, granted, defensively was a big part of that. But you still won that particular game. I believe that some of the Colts teams he beat over the years when they had Peyton Manning might have been better. But they found ways to win those games. They got lucky. They had Cundiff with Baltimore, where Cundiff hit the upright, and Lee Evans had the ball that was knocked out of his hands that should have been a touchdown. And he ended up going to Super Bowl and winning. So there's so many factors to winning Super Bowls repeatedly. So I believe Super Bowl is the easiest one to win once. Baltimore got hot with Joe Flacco, and Joe Flacco is a Super Bowl winner. Nobody thinks Flacco's all-time great. Nobody picks Flacco to go again and again and again. No, he got hot. He had 11 touchdowns, no interceptions. He went to Super Bowl. He won it all. Kaepernick went to a Super Bowl, didn't win it. Aaron Rodgers has been to one Super Bowl. He won it. He's only been to one. There's all the talent he has. He's only been to one because it takes a complete team. It takes the stars and the moons aligning. I think in the other sports it's different. You have to be pretty much the best team. When the Capitals keep losing to the Penguins in hockey, they're just not as good. Simple as that. It's not, Penguins are so lucky they keep winning. No. The better team wins the 4-game series. Yeah, the Capitals will still win a game or two here and there. But the Penguins will win 4 before the Caps will win 4. Same thing in basketball. LeBron has been to 10 NBA Finals because he's on the best team, and his team will always make it through, whether the West or the East, to the finals. They may not win it because they're not the better team will win it. So I think with those sports, with the 7-game series, it's tough to win it once unless you're the better team. And it's definitely for you to win it repeatedly and get there all the time because you have the better team. It's not a guess or I'm not sure. It's yes, I played 7 games or I played to the best of 4 out of 7. And that makes you the better team. So the better team will usually win those sports. And I think that makes it harder to put a career together of wins in the NFL because it doesn't necessarily have to be the best team. It just has to be winning at that moment. You have to be the hot team. You have to have the great 60 minutes. And sometimes even 60 minutes. I mean, look back at the Buffalo Bills game against Houston back when many years. Frank Reich was the quarterback. Warren Moon was the quarterback of Houston. It was a 32-point lead at halftime. And they lost that game. They lost that game, and that was it. It's over. It's the playoffs. You're gone. It's not like, what was it? The Lakers with Magic Johnson won a championship one year when they got blown out, one of the worst blowouts in LA history by the Celtics. I think they lost by almost 40 points or something like that, or 40 points, and they came back and they won the series because one game is not as important as what it is in football. Football is the toughest Super Bowl to win repeatedly, or the toughest championship to win repeatedly, but at the same time, it's the easiest to win once Because all it takes is that right streak of things, the stars and the moons aligning, and you could end up winning a championship. The Mile High miracle for Flacco, they end up winning a game that they probably shouldn't. You would like to think if they played it 3 more times or 5 times, that the Denver Broncos would have won the next 4 straight in a row. But the Ravens pulled that one game out, end up winning the Super Bowl. So I'm going to say the toughest championship to string together wins is the NFL. And then I'll also say the easiest championship to steal is the NFL. So it's both the easiest and the toughest at the same exact time. Let me know what you guys think. I know this is kind of all over the place because I'm saying both from the same sport, but I think I've outlined why. The NFL is the toughest to win repeatedly, and the NFL is the easiest to steal if you were going to steal the championship, if that can be done. Let me know what you guys think. Once again, this is Roscoe Squeeze Off the podcast. It's your boy Roscoe Squeeze Off, world's foremost authority on all things that matter. Just a dude riding around talking about sports. And until next time, peace.